How we doing, YouTube? My name is Chris from Terrestrial Imaging, rocking our Yuneec gear and checking out the Typhoon H. So today we're going to spare you really an unboxing video. I'm sure you guys have seen that before, but we're just going to take a quick look at what we got laid out right here. We got the ST16 controller. It's a really great controller. It's a big controller, a lot of knobs, a lot to get used to, but once you figure it all out, it's really simple and it's just really an amazing controller. Over here, we got our propellers. We actually have 5 of each propellers, 5 A's, 5 B's. But to fly the drone, you only need 3 of each. There's just an additional 2 just in case anything happens. And then here we have the Typhoon H. Really great drone. So when we look at all this stuff, we're just gonna go through a quick, pre-flight inspection and a pre-flight routine. So that way we can get the drone up in the air and give you guys a nice demo flight. So when you look at the drone itself, you see this got its 6 arms. Just click them all up. Real simple. Just listen for that click. You guys want them to click to make sure that they're really in there tight and they're not going to be coming loose during flight. Good way to check that is just to push down on each one. Obviously not too hard, just a finger or two, and just push down and make sure that they don't fold back. Now obviously if it was too loose and you clicked it, you would see it fall back down, and all you want to do is push it back up and make sure you hear that click and it's locked in. Next we're going to take a look at the propellers. So now if we check out each propeller, the B propellers have a silver ring on the inside and the black have an A. Each ring corresponds to the knob that's on top over here. So obviously the white goes to the white, and all whites are B's. So to put the B on, you just click down, line it up, and twist that to the right. And then the black ones are basically the same, just line it in and twist to the left. And it's just as easy to get off. All you got to do is click the knob in the center, loosens the propeller, and twist in the opposite direction, and it comes right off. Really simple to get on, really simple to get off. It's a pretty quick and efficient system. So let's just go through real quick and putting all these on. It's pretty quick. If you compare it to some other drones, it could take like 5 minutes just to get the propellers on. This is really quick. So next thing, it's almost funny to have to mention it, but some people forget. I myself have been guilty of forgetting. All you got to do is take off the gimbal cover. When you fly, you'll notice that it's locked. You won't see anything. It'll start shaking, and sometimes it could even fall off during flight if not taken off properly. Next, also what we want to do is check each propeller, twist them each to make sure that they're locked on. Now, obviously, you don't want those coming off during flight. That would be bad. And another thing, we're going to go over the battery. So on the back, we already have the battery in, right? So we'll go over taking it out first. When you pull this battery up, it's a really loose, kind of flat looking deal. And it almost doesn't feel natural. You don't hear a click. The battery's still tight. When you pull, it's still tight. The easiest way to get this out is just carefully push this all the way to the top and just push with your thumb, and the battery comes right out. It's a lot simpler than it seems, but some people get a little frightened that they're going to break it. I wouldn't really worry about that as long as you just carefully pull it out, and don't pull by the flat. Push your thumb to get the battery out. Now getting the battery in, all you got to do is push it in. As you're pushing, it's going to get a little tight, and it's almost going to feel unnatural. You're going to feel like you're going to break the drone. Don't worry. All you got to do is just push a little hard, and you're going to hear it click. It almost feels a little forced in, but it's just nice and tight enough. So now that we've gone through our inspection, again, just give it one more push on each propeller arm. Give them all one more twist. Safety is our main concern. So now let's go get this drone in the air. Alright guys, so now we're going to put the Typhoon H in the air. But again, we just wanted to go over it one more time. It might be a little redundant, but safety is very important. Again, just push down on each arm, make sure they're all locked, twist each blade. So now, once it's all locked, you can go ahead and turn on your controller. Ours is already turned on just to save a little bit of time, but you want to have the controller on before you turn on the drone. So now that the controller's on, we're going to turn on the drone. Hold it down for a couple of seconds until it makes that sound and you're all set. You're going to see a bunch of lights blinking in the background, and once the lights come to a steady standstill, that's how you know it's going to be connected to the controller. So we'll let it go through its different phases real quick, let it get the gimbal all set, let it go through its motions, and then we'll put it in the air. Now that we have a steady purple light, this means that we're all set to fly. Before we take it in the air, let's just go over a few more things before we start. So on the controller, you have the flight mode. A indicates angle mode, and that color corresponds to a purple. If we flip that up, that means smart mode, and that corresponds to a green color. And if we go all the way down to H, that's a blinking red, and that means home. So home is basically just if it's flying in the air and you want it to come home, and you turn it on home mode, it'll fly itself back to the point where which it took off. I really don't recommend allowing it to land itself when it's in home mode. I just like to be in control of the landing, but that's just a personal preference. Also, before you take off, up top we have a switch for landing gear. Always make sure that's down before you take off. And lastly, on the side of the controller over here, we have a turtle symbol and a rabbit symbol. Now this is a pretty fast drone. It's much faster than some of the other ones that we've flown. So when you take off, I strongly recommend taking off in turtle mode. If you take off in full rabbit, which is the fastest it can go, that thing's gonna shoot up into the air really fast and might make you feel like you don't have full control over it. So definitely fly on turtle mode. Now, after doing all that, we're ready to take it into the air.